Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video I wanted to make a dream store priority guide. So this guide is really easy to make for people who are new to the game and they don't have many of these heroes built up, because then the optimal route is basically build Odie, then Merrily, then Corrin in that order, in my opinion, to Mythic Plus for Dream Realm damage dealers. And then after that begin working on some of the PvP heroes, or just going for Coco to Mythic Plus for the shielding for more Dream Realm, or begin doing Arden and Damien for your PvP performance. And that is basically the optimal, the heroes that you can be selecting from the Dream Store. And if you're a newer player, then this is what I would recommend. Definitely Odie, Merrily, Corrin to Mythic Plus first. They will help you in Dream Realm, and that is the most important mode of this game to earn more temporal essences for your account on a consistent basis, based on your rankings. And then after that, getting Coco to Mythic Plus, that shielding can help you a bit in Dream Realm. It's also good in PvP, and Arden and Damien for PvP pretty much exclusively, as well as AFK stages. So those are basically the 6 big heroes I would say are available in this Dream Store. But when we talk about, for example, someone who's been playing for a long time, like if you've been playing since global launch, most of these heroes you'll already have maxed. So then one thing I just want to make a point of mentioning is the fact that the Dream Store has not been updated since the first time it came around at global launch. I don't know if it ever will have plans to be updated. Right now we have a season store where we can buy heroes from the Song of Strife, which is the previous season, for a limited time. But then I'm wondering if we enter then the next season, and that season store will then move on to the Waves of Intrigue season store, basically, I'm assuming. Then will those heroes from Song of Strife be purchasable in the Dream Store? If that is the case, then it gives you even some sort of incentive to begin holding and hoarding your Dream Store currency, because I would imagine that after their season store ends this season, then hopefully those Song of Strife heroes, like for example Lenya, Almas, A levels, they should be added to the Dream Store. But we have no idea, and I'm not this is just a speculation. I have no idea if that's actually going to happen or not. But the thing is, if it doesn't happen, then it's probably a better idea to just keep the heroes that are not purchasable in the Dream Store on your wish list, like for example Lenya and Almas, and buy Arden and Damien from the Dream Store. Because that way you're going to be able to get all of your heroes from the different means, right? You're going to be able to get Lenya and Almas, who cannot be purchased from the Dream Store, and you're going to be able to get Arden and Damien, who are purchasable from the Dream Store. Now, I don't actually recommend this. I think still having Arden on the wishlist is really important, because he's a much more important hero to your account to get up to Mythic Plus rapidly before Lenya. Lenya is a more niche hero with mainly PvP use, not amazing Dream Realm performance, especially in Endless, she's not really used at all. So but if for example there was some other really important meta hero here for Song of Strife season, then I would definitely recommend keeping them on the wishlist and getting the other heroes from the Dream Store, because we don't know if these heroes ever are going to enter the Dream Store. And so that's just one thing to kind of mention. Now, what I'm going to explain kind of what I've been doing. So what I've been doing is I'm trying to get all of these heroes to Mythic Plus at least, because we never know when new game modes will be added, or new future seasons where different charm bonuses, different seasonal skills could make heroes which were previously not usable anywhere kind of meta or relevant. It's happened a lot, and so we need to kind of build up most of these heroes, in my opinion, to Mythic Plus. You don't necessarily have to take them to Supreme Plus, because a lot of a hero's kit is complete at Mythic Plus, and you can get a lot of work done with that hero. But then eventually, even getting all of these heroes to Supreme Plus will be kind of important for your account, because you never know which heroes are going to be useful in future metas and future game modes which are added. So that's one thing I'm doing, but I'm trying to do that with my wish list as well. Then the only other consideration is basically, do you want to save your Dream Realm currency for if new heroes are ever added here? That's definitely one option, but the other option is for you to begin trying to get Paragon upgrades for your current existing A-level heroes, and that's what I'm kind of doing right now. So I want to mention, when you think about Paragon upgrades, you should only be focusing on heroes which have PvP use, because the major value of a Paragon upgrade is the rivalry stats, which are only effective in PvP modes like Supreme Arena, regular Arena. You only gain an overall stat boost of 2.5% stats. So if, for example, it's like a Dream Realm hero like Merrily, that 2.5% bonus stats doesn't make much of a difference. It's very minor. So she's not a top priority to get to Paragon. However, if there's a hero who is used a lot in Arena, like one example I can think of a lot is Arden. Arden is a damage dealer. Used in Arena, he gets a lot of value from the Paragon upgrade because he will gain damage boost and damage reduction. Because in Paragon, there are two different stats that are the key ones, which are one is a 6% damage boost, one is a 6% damage reduction. When you're talking about like a tank or a support hero, for example, Coco will benefit from the damage reduction definitely, but from the damage boost, she's hardly going to benefit because she doesn't deal much damage to begin with. So like it's kind of like a waste. Half of the stats are being wasted onto her for a Paragon upgrade. That's like my opinion about it. However, Arden will benefit from the damage boost and from the damage reduction. And so that's why I think overall damage dealers are going to be better options for your Paragon upgrades. Odie is also good in PvP. Mainly good on offense, but can be used on defense as well, especially in Supreme Arena. So I think Odie and Arden are both great options for Paragon tier ascensions. Even Sylvina, if you use her a lot, she's a good option on offense, and the Paragon upgrades are going to benefit her. After that, I mean, Damien and Coco, they're both really good PvP heroes, but they're supports. So their damage output is limited, so they're not going to gain that much value from the damage boost. But they are going to get value from the damage reduction and the other rivalry stats you get. Because it's not just damage boost and damage reduction, but those, in my opinion, are the two key major upgrades you get from a Paragon Ascension. The other ones, which are kind of modifications to your energy generation, and then also slightly higher debuff duration when inflicting it onto enemies, and also slightly lower duration of debuffs inflicted on yourself. These are really minor effects, and honestly I don't think they make much difference to the course of the battle unless you have like 2 or 3 Paragon tiers above someone else. But I think it really comes down to the damage boost and the damage reduction stats that you're getting. So yeah, so in my opinion, I would think that Arden, Odie would be the #1 options for Paragon Ascension. And then potentially Sylvina if you use her a lot. And then Arden, Coco, or sorry, Damien, Coco, because they are really good, strong PvP supports, even though they're not going to benefit that much from the damage boost. The other heroes like Corin, Marilee, these are not great options for PvP. They can be used, and if you don't have anything better, they are maybe your best choice, but you're soon going to be replacing them from your PvP lineups. But I mean, they are still really good damages for Dream Realm, and that extra 2.5% stats, it makes somewhat of a difference, but it's a very negligible difference. Like the RNG of the run basically trumps the 2.5% bonus stats. But I can understand if you wanted to Paragon Ascend Marilee and Corin. Apart from that, Prissa is pretty good in Supreme Arena. She hits really hard. She's actually a better PvP hero than I really thought initially. And same kind of goes for Seth. Both of them are decent PvP options, but not necessarily the greatest. And I think Prissa is more usable than Seth. I think Seth with the current like Malefaction talents can be not bad, but I think generally he's not as flexible as Prissa. One final thing to mention is you also have to consider how many A-level heroes are there of a certain faction. And we can take a look at our collection here. For example, especially the Graveborn A-level heroes come to mind. Look, there are only 4 A-level Graveborn heroes, and 2 of them are pretty bad. Salazar and Nero are not really used anywhere. So eventually you'll want to get them Mythic Plus because you never know when a game mode might make use of them. But Sylvina, Viperion are pretty much always going to be on your wish list. You're going to level them up through that way. So then you don't really need to be buying them from the Dream Store because you're going to be getting them, just plenty of copies of them, having them on your wish list. However, when we look at the Wilders, Arden, Almas, Damien, Lenya, Parissa, even Laika potentially can, in like Diurnal teams, these are all heroes that you'll want to be built up on your account. That's 6 different A-level heroes compared to Graveborn, which you really only want 2. Like Sylvina, Viperion is enough. The other 2 are just for any future game mode that might make use of them. So that shows you how competitive the Wildest slot is, and then it's more important for you to upgrade or be spending Dream Store currency on the Wilders like Damien and Arden, and then you can afford to put Almas and Lenya on your wish list. So that's another thing to consider. And for the Maulers, look how many you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Mauler heroes. And like, not all of them are amazing, but for example, Odie, Coco, Antandra, potentially as a tank for PvP AFK stages, Kruger, eventually like for optimal Dream Realm teams, having him ascended, he deals a bit more damage. So they're not as good as Wilders, but there's 7 total Mauler heroes. And even Light Bearers, look at it. 1, 2, 3. What? They're now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? They're 9 Light Bearer A-level heroes? I didn't even realize that. Now, again, they're not going to be all like as meta as the Wilder heroes that we have, but especially now with Sinbad being there, who might be useful in future game modes. Luca, he's a really tanky hero. Then you'll want to then get the other heroes from the Dream Store so that you can afford to put these heroes onto your wish list. So that's another thing to mention. Like, spending on Dream Store currency on Graveborn heroes seems like a bad choice, when the fact is there's so many of the other factions which are going to be competing for wishlist spots, and Graveborn is really easy because there are only 4. Now more heroes are going to be added over time, like Bonnie is going to be an A-level Graveborn hero who will be added to that, but still then there'll only be 5 compared to like 9 Light Bearers, so many meta Wilders, and then 7 Maulers for the A level. So these are all things you have to consider when spending your Dream Store currency. So just to recap basically my opinion, you need to get OD Merrily Corrin to Mythic Plus first, and then you can begin working on the other more PvP oriented heroes like Coco, Damien, Arden to Mythic Plus as well. If currently you still don't have OD Merrily and Corrin at Supreme Plus, I would say get them to Supreme Plus first, because these are heroes who have good use in Dream Realm, and also you just want to have them maxed in stats on your account. And same with Arden, Damien, Coco, you want to have them as Supreme Plus. These are all key PvP heroes. Coco, Arden, and Damien can all be good in AFK stages as well. Coco can be good in Dream Realm as well. So these are all like things you want to consider. Those are the big 6 I consider from the shop, and the big 3 to begin with are OD Merrily Corrin. Then from that point on, it comes to a bit of preference. Like I mentioned, I think the next big ones to consider are Prissa, Kruger, Antandra, or Prissa, Kruger, Sylvina, for example, if you're more PvP focused. But like I mentioned, spending your currency on the Graveborn heroes is going to come back to bite you in the end, because there's so few Graveborn heroes to begin with, and your wishlist spots are not so competitive compared to the other factions. Like your overall speed of building up heroes will be better if you do not invest in Dream Store currency on the Graveborns. So anyway, guys, hopefully, and then one final point is totally fine. A lot of people are hoarding their Dream Realm currency because they're like, nothing really appeals to them in the shop. They're waiting for, hopefully, new heroes will be added. I think it is a possibility that when this season currently ends and we move on to the next season, then probably what will happen is waves of intrigue heroes will be added to the season store, and then maybe the heroes like Alamis, Lenya, Soren, who were in the Song of Strife season A levels, they might be added to this Dream Store. And that would be great, because then you can get their copies or get them to Paragon Ascensions if you want. So like, I would think that would make sense, right? Like, it makes sense to me, but who knows what will happen. Yeah, so anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That's gonna be it for this one. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and let me know your thoughts about the Dream Store in general in the comment section, or you can message me on Discord. There's a link to my Discord server in the description of this video. But thank you guys for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.